Bob is going to have another baby with his cousin Eric, who is going to be his mother. Makes sense. Totally normal sentence I just said. Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. I guess I should actually be saying welcome back to myself because it has been an incredibly long time since I've posted anything here. I have still been playing The Sims, just kind of off screen. I saw something in another YouTuber's channel recently and I just wanted to try it. And I figured if I was going to do something this chaotic, I would go ahead and share it with the rest of the world. And it was from the Sims tuber Stewie or Stu. He had used the genetics in Create a Sim to go ahead and take two of his Sims that he had already been using and basically merge their genetics together to make parents for them, so that they could then have those parents be siblings, and he can make these otherwise completely unrelated Sims. He can make them cousins to one another, and he also went ahead and made them siblings, and, you know, just it carried the genetic resemblance throughout the extended family. And I thought this was really cool. It was majestic and beautiful and genius and also really unhinged to watch. So of course I wanted to try it. What if I just made it a little bit more unhinged and we went ahead and tried to see how many of the townies from Willow Creek that we could make cousins to one another, just one link in the chain at a time. So hopefully this will all make sense when we get into Create a Sim. But first I need to put some cheats in because we are using pre-made households. So I'm going to go ahead and put in testing cheats on, and then I'm going to go ahead and put in CAS.full edit mode. Yep. And that should now let us change these relationships. Here we are looking at all of our townies that we're going to be playing with today. So I am going to be looking at connecting all of the like the young adult level townies one to the other. We do have some children, and then thanks to the Spencer Kim Lewis household, we have that older generation as well, which is actually going to put some constraints on us when we get into this, because Eric Lewis and Alice Spencer Kim's, each of them has one of their parents pre-made, so we can only make the parent that's not the one that we already have in the game. And for this project, I am going to be completely ignoring any kind of actual in-game lore beyond what is actually built into these households. So we know in The Sims lore, for instance, what Bella Goth and Eliza Pancake's maiden names are. I am not going to care about that here because it's going to be easier to link them to other characters. And so, yeah, those are kind of the ground rules, just trying to see how we can genetically link these Sims together, not just choosing from the drop down that they are related, if that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and start by making a new household, so I don't have the extra Sims in place. And I'm going to make that for our first connection, and that is going to be Eric. And I am actually going to take with him his mother, Vivian, and we are going to go ahead and move them, and we'll just give them a little money. It doesn't really matter. They're going to get moved back later. Boom, new household. And then the first cousin that I want to give him is going to be Bob Pancakes. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer Bob into that new household as well. And there he is. They don't need any more money. They're good. So this is now the Lewis household. So the way that I saw this done is basically using the two Sims that are going to be cousins, so in our case, Eric and Bob, creating a genetic child between them who is not going to be their child. We'll fix that afterwards, but we're just trying to get a blend of both of their features, because the idea is if they are cousins, then their parents would share some features in common, and Eric only got some of them and Bob only got some of them. It actually works out pretty well with just like a few tweaks for maybe like hair or skin tone or things like that I saw in the other video. So let's give it a try. We already have Eric's mother, Vivian, no last name, no birth name, Lewis. So we know his father is going to be Lewis. Bob Pancakes, I am going to make some really heteronormative assumptions here about these relationships. And so we're going to assume that Bob's father is also a Pancakes man. So what we're going to be doing here is making Eric's father and then Bob's mother, and those two are going to be sister and brother. So I'm going to start by focusing on Eric. Click Create a Sim. We're going to say genetics, and I'm going to pick the other parent to be Bob Pancakes. And we already have it set to male. I'm going to go ahead and age them up to teen. And I'm going to give myself any of the first 3 that we randomize. I'm going to say I can keep any of them because sometimes you get some really bonkers looking Sims this way. Not trying to beauty gatekeep, but you know what I mean? Like the chin that sticks out like 40 inches. Or maybe it just looks too much like one or the other of them. And I do want it to be a blend of their 2 features together. I kind of like the vibes of the second one. And I'm not going to lie, when I did this, I kind of did a test trial on a little bit of this genetic play earlier. I tended to like the second one the most, but I think that's just random. Anyhow, this is their child / Eric's father. And the way that I'm going to go ahead and break that relationship connection, I can go ahead and do it here. But if I age him up older than them, it's just going to go ahead and break that relationship anyhow. And so Eric Lewis, let's go ahead and see what we roll for his name. Alexis, Aaron, Tyrone. All right, there we go. So we've got Tyrone Lewis married to Vivian, and he's going to be the father of Eric. I am actually going to fully age him up to an elder as well. And I'm going to go ahead and make Eric his son and Vivian his spouse. She doesn't have to be, but I'm gonna. All right, and then I'm just gonna randomize some traits and pick a random aspiration. Ooh, Master Vampire, whoops. Oh well. And I probably will come back through in a little bit and just do some little makeovers, kind of get them some different outfits and those things. But I want to see how far we can get with the genetics before all of that happens. Now we need to make his sister, who is Bob Pancake's mother. Bob is going to have another baby with his cousin Eric, who is going to be his mother. Makes sense. Totally normal sentence I just said. All right, teen. And then that's all right. I think she does look a little bit more like Bob. We've got some shared features. We've got this one that is kind of in the middle between the 2 of them. And then, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and keep this third one. Let's do it. Her last name is actually going to be Lewis Pancakes because we're going to assume that she has married Bob's dad, who we're going to sort out later. And let's roll for her name. Bria, Kimberly, Juanita, Lila. How about Lila Lewis? Why not? Let's go ahead and age her up to break those relationships. Give her some randomized traits and just kind of pick a, okay, serial romantic. Why not? Let's go ahead and fix her family relationships. We should have Tyrone as her brother, Bob as her son. Vivian is just going to be listed here as her as a household member because this is her sister-in-law, and that doesn't show up in the options in CAS. She should be connected on the family tree when we check later, though. And then it did update to go ahead and say, hey, well, if Bob is your son and Tyrone's your brother, Eric is Tyrone's son, this must be your nephew. So Eric Lewis, mother, cousin, father, aunt. See how that is just updating there? Fantastic. That's what we wanted to see. All right, so we are all set. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Let's pick our next family to start merging. So I had decided to start with the Spencer Kim Lewis family because each of them already has one parent. Thinking about them on either ends of this chain I'm building. One, because they each already have a parent, so I can't play both sides of that with the genetics unless I wanted to recreate one of their parents. And then the other part of it is just because, you know, Alice and Eric are married to each other, and so I don't want them to be cousins. I am trying to avoid that here, though they may have cousins in common. Same thing with Bob and Eliza, Mortimer and Bella, and then Travis, Liberty, and Summer. I want to keep all of them available for romantic interest as is intended in this game. So the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let's do the Spencer Kim Lewis, the other part of it. So Spencer Kim. And I'm going to go ahead and add Liberty to that household because I'm going to see if we can make her first cousins with Alice through her mother's side. So transfer. Liberty is going to go over here. We don't need to trade money because we don't really care right now. So this is now basically the Spencer Kim household for now until I start putting everybody back together again. Go ahead and edit. Okay, so we have Alice, Spencer Kim. or with her father, her daughter, and right now Liberty, who is just another household member. So we're going to do the same thing we did before, starting with Alice to make her mother, whose last name is going to be Spencer, because we already have that detailed, not just in the Sims lore in general, but specifically in this household. We can see that that was her mother's name. So we're going to make her mother, who is going to be a Spencer, but we are going to mix her DNA with Liberty so we can kind of reverse engineer what that mother might have looked like. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and oof, I am just going to ignore her because I don't want to deal with taking her glasses off. I think I am going to go ahead and feel like the second one is, as long as there's no weird like 5-inch chin. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good mix of both of these ladies. So let's go ahead and keep this one. And we'll age her up to an adult. I will leave her last name as Spencer Kim, just so I can connect her maiden name with her married name. And then let's see what kind of names they give us here. She looks like a Catherine and Dennis. Yeah, they really like the K sounds. So let's go ahead and say we'll keep Catherine. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and make Catherine an elder and give her some traits. Okay, and then we are going to go ahead and make Liberty's mother. So again, just going with straightforward heteronormativity here, we're going to assume that Liberty Lee has a father and a mother, and that her father is a Lee. Therefore, we're going to make her mother, who will also be a Spencer, and she will be sisters with Catherine. Okay, we've got a teen option. This is pretty good. Let's see a couple more options. All right. Ooh, I like any of these. You know what? Let's just go ahead and keep this first one. Yeah. Age her up to elder, and we'll pick a name. Leanne, why not? We'll go ahead and randomize inspiration. And now we are ready to start making those relationship connections again. Leanne Spencer Lee should be the mother of Liberty. So Liberty is her daughter and Catherine is her sister. Going back to Catherine Spencer Kim, Alice should be her daughter. Dennis is her spouse, and we already had Leanne as her sister, so that makes Liberty her niece and Olivia her granddaughter. So I'm just going to go through and confirm that with everyone else. Fantastic. And now we have those first 2 sets of cousin relationships built up. I did a little cleanup of our families here. So we now have the Lewis household, Lewis Pancakes, Spencer Lee, and then we have some of our original household, BFF, Pancakes, and the Goth. And so the next one I was thinking about putting together was Travis and Eliza. And we know Travis has that wonderful, like cheesy yellow hair, like he did a bad home bleach job like I would have done when I was, 18 and didn't know about toner or anything like that. But we'll pretend that it's maybe because he's got a little redhead ancestry in his family. So I'm going to go ahead and actually add Eliza to the BFF household. Yes, because the best way I could think of to separate Travis and Summer from being direct cousins with one another is to actually go ahead and just put Eliza in the middle. So Eliza will be related to Travis on one side of her family and to Summer on the other side of her family. All right, and that took all the pancakes money, so they're over there now. Okay, no more pancakes. So I am going to call this the Holiday Scott household. And this is where it's really helpful for us to ignore any other kinds of Sims lore, because in the Sims lore, Eliza is Eliza Hastings prior to marrying Bob Pancakes, but we're pretending we don't know any of that. So we are going to have one of her parents on the Holiday side and the other on the Scott side. I get to be a little arbitrary because of that rule that I made up about not knowing any of Eliza's parents' last names, but because Holiday starts with an H, and in Sims lore, Eliza's last name actually started with an H. Let's go ahead and make that her father's name. So we're going to put together Eliza and Summer to make Eliza's father. I know, this is just so fun. All right, so we've got the teen, and let's randomize and randomize one more. And you know what? I don't mind having her one parent be blonde. Let's go ahead and go with that. And then the redhead gene will have coming from the line that she shares with Travis. So instead of pancakes, I'm going to call him Holiday. And let's find a name for this guy. Jerome, Donald Holiday. Let's do it. All right, let's go ahead and age him up. I want to see him as an adult. And then we'll make him an elder. All right. And then let's fix that relationship. So Eliza is going to be his daughter. And that's all we're doing for now. Let's go ahead and give him some traits. And then we'll do the same thing, but with Travis's side to make her mom, who is going to be a Scott. Oh, okay. Can we see the resemblance on both sides? I don't know. Let's take a look. Okay. Oh, none of this is helpful. The thing is, I think I like her face better as a mismatch of the two of them, but we are going to fix that hair right now. Let's give her just a normal hair and we'll come back to this. Perfect. Even though we know that she is going to have gray hair as an elder, we know that the genetics are there. So we'll keep that one. Age her up to an adult just so we can see what she looks like. Go ahead and make Eliza her daughter and Donald her spouse. And then her last name is going to be Scott Holiday. And let's see, Nicolette, why not? Let's do it. All right. And then because we had Eliza, and I don't think I can write in, I'm just going to say it like this because I don't think there's space to put all of it in there, but we're going to put as many of her last names in here as we can. Okay, the Scott Hall Pancakes household. Since we picked the surnames or the current last names of both Travis and Summer, we know that we are going to be making Travis's father to be the brother of Nicolette, and we are going to make Summer's father to be the brother of Donald. So let's go ahead from Travis. And so this is his father. Randomize. Oh my gosh. Okay. He looks a lot like Eliza. That's fine. Let's go ahead and make that Travis's father. Gonna age him up. Find him a name. Broderick. Why not? Traits. Aspiration. And then let's see if we can fix these relationships. Travis is his son. Nicolette is his sister. And then we will make him an elder. Who just likes his tunes, man. Okay. This is so confusing when I'm doing it. This is so confusing when I'm doing it with 3 different Sims at the same time. So now I just need to make Summer's father. And this is going to be the brother of Donald. And I think I'm going to randomize and just see if they give me a blonde one. If not, then I'll keep going. You know, these 2 ladies do not look so different. We'll go ahead and keep the second one again. And this is going to be Damien. Let's be Damien. Okay, Damien's an adult now. Traits, aspiration, and now we got to fix some relationships. So Summer is his daughter. Donald is his brother. Okay, so they did update that Eliza is his niece. Okay. I think we have it. So I was Eliza related to everyone. She is the middle of our family cousin chain here. Travis is now her cousin. Summer is now her cousin. Donald is her father. Nicolette is her mother. Broderick is her uncle. And so is Damien. That looks good to me. So we're going to go accept all of these. And finally, age up Damien to an elder. Okay. One more household down. All right, so now we have, I'm just naming it the Lewis household. We now have the Scott Holiday household. I did age her parents down to adults just because I wanted to see what they all looked like together. This is the completed Spencer Kim household. And then we have one of our favorite families here in Willow Creek that is completely untethered from the rest of these folks. So this is where the puzzle piecing, mystery mashing has to take place. This is where my brain broke basically when I started doing this the first time. So I'm just going to walk you through what I have come up with to make sure none of the people who I don't want to be directly related are related, but we can also get everybody connected. The only way I figured this out though is to connect the Goths, each of them, one to the Lewis side and one to the Spencer Kim side somehow. And so that probably means one of them connected to the Lewis side through Bob, and the other one connected to the Spencer Kim side through Liberty. Then I need to connect that back to the Scott Holiday situation, but that would mean that we then have the dark and swarthy Goths related, being cousins to the very blonde Scott and Holidays. But who cares? It's The Sims. Let's do it. Bella is going to join the Spencer Lee household. Apparently, one of her parents was a Lee. Sure, why not? We are now going to go ahead and create Liberty's father, playing with genetics with Bella Goth. That is option number 1. Option number 2 and option number 3. All right, I gotta get a better look at this chin. I don't know about that. Brother, we gotta get these glasses off you, all right? Yeah, I'm not really vibing that chin. Let's go ahead and go with, okay, well, I messed that all up. All right, so there's option 1, option 2, option 3. Oh, I had some good ones earlier. I'm just gonna go back to the start. Okay, here we go. That is option 1. Option 2, okay. We are just not getting a lot of chin action with this pairing, but you know what? It does not look so bad on this sim. You know what? Why not? Here we go. That is going to be Mr. Lee. I don't know what is going on in his hair. We'll figure it out later. Okay. Bryce, why not? Let's go ahead and age you up to an adult. Traits, random aspiration. Brother, I just got to get these accessories off of you though, because I have got to see you better. All right, that is Bryce Lee, aged up to an elder. And just going back to Liberty, let's go ahead and make sure that's her mother and that is her father. Boom. All right, just like that. Let's do Bella's mother as the Lee side of the family. So from Bella, genetics, Liberty, mother, teen, 1, 2. I might have to go with the first one just because I think she looks a little bit more like, does she? Not me making choices over here. Yeah, we're just going to keep with the first one. And that is going to be Lee. First name, oof, nobody that age was named Madison. Christina without an H, maybe Katerina. Lyric, Erica, Miriam. Let's do it. All right, adult Miriam. Traits. Aspiration, and let's fix those relationships, baby girl. All right, Bella is your daughter and Bryce is your brother, which makes Liberty your niece. All right, that should be correct. All right, niece, daughter, sister, and then Leanne needs to be your spouse. And then Bella Lee Goth. Great. Cousin. This is her uncle's wife. So yeah, just household member, her mother, and okay, perfect. Okay, so we now have the Spencer Lee household. And this one is, so far, it is just the Lee household. We still need a second parent for her. All right, we're getting there. Now I want to make sure that I can connect her to Summer or Travis. And for whatever reason, I just really want to attach Mortimer to Summer. So we're going to go ahead and attach her to Travis Scott. We'll say that her father is a Scott. and his mother is a something else. Oh, no, this is perfect. Okay, so we're actually going to make her father a bachelor, like in the lore, and we'll make Scott's mother a bachelor, as in that's the last name. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to throw them in this household here with Travis. Okay, so we have Bella and her mother, and Travis and his father. So we are going to make Bella's dad, who is going to be have the last name of Bachelor, and we are going to do that along with Travis's DNA. Okay, I might actually be okay with that one. Oh, we got the little booty chin right there. We got the little cleft in the chin on that one. That's just not the vibe. Should we see you without your accessories? Let's find out. What do we think? Could that be the missing link between the two of them? This guy or this guy? You know what? Yeah. Okay, we are going to go ahead and keep this one. His last name is going to be Bachelor, and we'll rando his name out. Jackson, absolutely not. Byron, why not? Byron, Bachelor. Random traits. Give me an aspiration. All right, and then we got to fix his relationships. So this should be Bella's dad. So she is his daughter, and he is the spouse of Miriam. And now we are going to make Travis Scott's mother. Make her a teen. We're going to randomize. Ooh, I kind of like her. Okay, I'm just responding to the hairstyles that I like here, I think. Okay, so that is obviously not Travis Scott's mother, even though they have some nice features in common. This is a possibility. I think I just like her hair, which is not helpful, but let's go ahead and go with her. Make her an adult, and we said her last name is Bachelor. Ooh, what if we rolled a B name? Helen, why not? That's not a B name, but sure. Let's get a aspiration for Miss Helen, and then let's see if we can connect these relationships. So Travis is her son. Roderick is her spouse. Byron is her brother. Okay, let's go back to Bella, who is now, let's see. Her mom is a Lee. Her dad is a Bachelor. Okay, Bella Lee Batch Goth. All right, Travis Scott. His father, Broderick. His mother, Helen. Okay, let me just make sure that's all good. Cousin, father. This is sister, aunt through marriage. Yes, sorry, that's aunt through marriage. All right, cousin, father, mother. Also makes the uncle, and then this is the uncle's wife. So there is no relationship shown in CAS. All right, I think we got that one. And we're going to try to split them up correctly. So I want to bring out Bella. Oh, wait, let's make a new household. I'm going to put Bella, her mother, and her father there. And we'll give them some money because I think the game will make me do that. It will be mad if I don't. Oh my goodness. This is now the Lee Bachelor household. And this is the Bachelor Scott household. Okay, what do we have left? Now, the only ones we have left to connect is I need to connect Mortimer to Bob, and then I need to connect Mortimer to Summer, and then we'll check the family tree. We have Bob with his mother, Lila Lewis, and we know we still need his father, who is going to be a Pancakes. So let's go ahead and make Mortimer's mother related to Bob. So we're going to do Bob's father first. Hey, looks good to me. Let's take it. Maybe it's just been a long day, but I think that looks like a Robert Pancakes to me. Let's do it. We're going to go ahead and age him up to an adult. Roll for traits. Pick an aspiration randomly. And then we are going to set up his relationship. He is Bob's father, so Bob is his son, and Lila is his spouse. We are now going to make Robert's sister, who is Mortimer's mother. Actually looks pretty good. Let me just see what else we got. I think the first or the third one look the most like Robert. I think we'll go ahead and go with the first one. Sure, why not? All right, and age her up to an adult. Her last name is Pancakes, And her first name could be Robin. Sure. Robin and Robert. I like it. Okay. Mortimer is, oh, is he an adult? He is. All right. So we need to make her an elder so she can be Mortimer's mom, son, and then Robert is her brother. Bob is the cousin of Mortimer. His mother is Leela. I'm going to keep going back and forth on that. I'm so sorry. Leela, Lila. I'm just going to call her both. Robert is his dad and Robin is his aunt. Let's just make sure I got my names right. Robin, pancakes. Robert, pancakes. Bob, pancakes. Mortimer, goth. Leela, Lila, Lewis. Oh, let's get Aunt Robin some treats. Go ahead and get some treats and some kind of aspiration food. Why not? Gonna get these guys all separated out. So we are gonna leave Bob, Leela, Lila, and Robert. And we are going to create a new household for Robin and Mortimer. Just trying to keep my sanity here, folks. All right, so this is the pancakes goth household. Fantastic. So we've got the goth kids over here still. Don't worry, kids. You guys are already tied in by virtue of your family tree. And then Olivia is with her mom. So Spencer Kim household done. Scott Holiday, Lewis, Bachelor Scott, Lee Bachelor. So the last connection we need to make is going to be between Mortimer and Summer Holiday. So I'm going to bring Summer and her father, Damien, into this household. And we are going to make Mortimer's father, who is going to be a goth, and Summer's mother, who is going to be a goth. All right, time to make Mortimer's father. Via genetics, we're going to use Summer as the other sample for Mr. Goth. Interesting. That's definitely a possibility. Randomize one more time. Randomize one more time. Interesting selection we have here. You know, I kind of like this guy. He's a little weird looking. Maybe it's just the fairy glasses, but I don't know. I kind of like him. That looks like a goth to me. Let's go ahead and accept that. Make him an adult and get him a first name. Julian. Okay, sure. Julian. I have a wellness aspiration. I haven't given out enough of those yet today. And then we'll actually go ahead and make you an elder. Let's hook you up with your son, Mortimer, and your wife, Robin. Now we're just making Summer's mother. Is it just because I don't like this hair? That is definitely Mortimer's nose there. You know what? Why not? This is a goth. Deanna, let's do it. Adult. And an aspiration. So Julian is the sibling of Deanna. She needs to be an elder, so I can attach her to Summer. This is her daughter. And Damien is her spouse. This is so unhinged. It's so unhinged. All right. Mortimer is now Summer's cousin. Damien is her father. Deanna is her mother. Julian is her uncle. And Robin is the spouse of Julian and therefore her aunt through marriage. Ugh. So I'm not going to be able to put everyone back in their original households. I should be able to put the pancakes household back together. So let's do that. Perfect. That will fit in the 8 sim count. With the, yeah, we can do it with the goths. So I'm going to go ahead and put Mortimer and his parents back in his original household. Wonderful. And I'm going to put Bella and her parents back in that household as well. Yes, exactly. We'll just go back to calling this the pancakes household. And then we were so close on head count in the Lewis household. So no, we can put them all back together. Let's go ahead and put them back together as well. Transfer, not in world. And then I am just going to go ahead and keep each of the BFF households separate. Gonna go ahead and save before I lose all of this, all of my progress here. Even though I haven't played a single second in the game yet. Actually, it's been 9 sim minutes, so however long that is. Okay, let's start. We are on Eric right now, so let's start with him, and we're going to look at his Somology and see how this family tree works. We have Eric and his wife. He's married to Alice. He is the father of Olivia, and his parents are Tyrone and Vivian. Tyrone has a sister named Lila, who is married, or who has a son named Bob Pancakes. She had that son with a man named Robert Pancakes. Let's go to Eliza next. So now Eliza's parents are Nicolette and Donald Holliday. Nicolette, oh, this is where it gets confusing. Nicolette has a brother named Broderick. No. How does this work? We knew Mortimer. Okay, so now we're back at Eliza, who we know is cousins with Summer, but also Travis. And so we go from Travis. Okay, great. Here's where we want to see it. So we've got Bella on one side. Is that correct? Listen, I need to go back. I need to start again. Okay. Here's how the chain works. We've got Eric, who is cousins with Bob, who is cousins with Mortimer, who is cousins with Summer, whose cousin is Eliza, whose cousin is Travis, whose cousin is Bella, whose cousin is Liberty, whose cousin is Alice. And we are back in the Spencer Kim Lewis household. We did it.